Welcome to Sipping on Excellence. This is Coach KJ, and I'm here with my man, my dude, the Doc.
And this is where we will be discussing the exceptional that is absolutely attainable. My friends, here's to living that extraordinary life.
Cheers.
All right.
Yeah.
Get this right
All
here.
right.
Let's get settled in for this one. We about to get deep on y'all ass today.
Get my lat pulled down. Get my back strong so I can carry you on it. Woo! I'm a grown-ass man.
Ain't that the truth?
Officially in his 50s now, partner. Yeah.
Oh, my God. Welcome, y'all, to another episode of Sippin' on Excellence. I am Doc, and I am with my man, Coach KJ.
That is who I am.
Coming at y'all every week. Dude, I saw something on Instagram that made me think. And I guess my algorithm is popping up a lot of these, what's going to matter in your life when you're no longer here? What are people going to remember you as? Mm-hmm. What legacy do you want? All these different things. And I started realizing, we've done 100-something shows already, and we haven't really gotten deep into that.
Like massage the soil of that?
Yeah, I mean, think about it. Everything we've talked about to everybody it all matters.
Yeah.
But if I were to ask you, tell me one thing in your life that is truly important. That you think is important.
My connection to my people, man. My connection to my people, my friends, my friend network, my family, my connection to them. Not just I know them, quick DM, quick message. No, like, yo, what's good? When we make telephone calls to each other,
Yeah.
When we can sit in the same room and say absolutely nothing and say a whole lot, yeah.
Now, what about you do you want to matter to them, to those people?
That I gave a damn.
Y'all hear that?
That I gave a damn. Like my people know. When I say, what's going on? They go, oh, I'm good. I'm like, what?
What does that mean?
And I'll say it one more time. What is going on? And they go,
It's not like what's going on, dog. It's like no. I'm actually asking you.
Yeah. And they go, oh man, I knew you were gonna do this. That's what my people did. They're like,
motherfucker just couldn't let it go. Just couldn't let it go.
Yeah. I mean, I have this, I don't know what it is. I have this connection with people and they absolutely get diarrhea of the mouth. They just blah because they know it's not going anywhere.
Well, and also they probably don't have anywhere else to let it out, to let it go. Do you think in society what we think is important and what truly is important, do you think we understand that there's a complete disconnect? I think if you ask people, they'll say the Instagram answer or they'll say the PC answer.
They'll say the AI answer.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But like, for example, why do you drive the car you drive?
It gets me to A to B. Honestly,
right? But for example, you'll have people out there who they drive a certain vehicle because they care what people think about them.
Yeah, of course.
For driving that vehicle.
Yeah.
They think it makes them look a certain way. Why do you wear shoes on your feet that are uncomfortable as hell? Because you like the way that people respond to you. You like the attention you get.
You're responding to the perception versus the reality that it's really going on.
And I think one of the biggest problems is that we care way too much about what other people think.
It's a passion. And what a passion is pain. People don't understand that passion is actually pain.
And so so this was brought up the other day with a friend of mine. I was on the phone for hours, like 2 hours and change. I'm getting content, dog. I'm getting content. And this was good.
Look, I appreciate it.
This was
one less thing for me to do.
and it was good because it was a conversation about the live we had that morning, and it was. I was saying how men acquire things, meaning we want to become successful. We want to acquire things. We want the big house. We want the nice car and all that because we want to make more so we can provide more. Flip it to women. Women want to acquire things. They want to make more so they can do more and acquire more things for themselves. The whole term, my money is my money and your money is my money, that's where it comes from. The woman's not making more money and then wants to do for her dude. The woman's making more money so she can do more for herself. And somebody made a statement that if you look at things that matter, a lot of times the study that came out of Harvard said the things that matter a lot to women are what other people think about the things that matter.
Scary.
And they were like, with men, it was very different. And so they interviewed a bunch of.
Make sure you make that clear. Harvard study. I'm just saying.
They interviewed. They talked to a bunch of octogenarians, old people.
Right.
And they, you've seen the videos where they ask, "What would you do? What's the one thing you would tell your younger self, or what would you tell the younger generation?" I wish I would have spent less time at work. What matters in life? Like you said it earlier, the thing that matters probably most is that human connection. I wish I spent more time with one person that I wish I spent more time with my friends, because that connection with your friend is all that really matters. They don't give a shit about the car you drive. They don't give a shit about you acquiring wealth, because you're only doing that for you. Yeah. And why? Because you have that perception that people will like you more if you have these things.
Yeah.
And so I wanted us to dig a little deeper into, life itself and kind of what really matters.
When you said that, it got me thinking. I have a friend, and very dear friend, very, very highly successful in his business. But I've watched him change over the years, because the way his business was created and built and how he strategized the people he's connecting with, it was, I'm going to connect with this. You know what I mean? I'm connecting with this person because this is what this person does. This is what they provide. But he wasn't truly connecting with them. And then man.
Got bugs in my crib.
But what ended up happening is, as time went on, he realized, I'm not really connecting with these people. They're not providing me that friend nutrition, that friend nutrient that I need, that nurturing background that he got me at any time I can call or whatever. It's like, it wasn't transactional.
Yeah.
And I've watched him kind of move away from a lot of those people.
Because it's not peaceful.
Yeah, it's not. It's always work. It's always work. He realized he was always turned on.
Yeah, and life shouldn't always be about the next transaction.
Yeah.
People can't just be in a space. It's all about who sees me, who's here, what am I doing next? Okay, I got to think about tomorrow. And it prevents them from focusing on what matters most. And it's different for everybody. You know, like, for example, I asked you about why do you drive the car you drive? You say, because it gets me from A to B. People who out there know me know that I'm into cars, but for very different reasons. My cars get me from A to B, but I'm fascinated by the art and the engineering behind them. Has nothing to do if you like it or not.
Right.
It's because I think it's just cool.
Yeah.
You know?
That's your thing. But also you're into watches. It's a mechanical, it's all the ingenuity that goes behind it. Not because it's that high profile watch.
No.
That high profile watch has a level of ingenuity that goes behind it.
But if you think about it, some of the watches I have are more sentimental than anything else.
Yeah.
You know, I got the first watch I ever bought, which cost me almost nothing, but it was mine because I bought it. And is it a mechanical marvel? No, but it's mine. You know, and so there's little things. And as I've gotten older in life, I've realized that most of the shit that I thought was important, it really isn't. I mean, it's so not. And when I go to work every day, the stuff that I used to stress out about, if patients come see me, I got to make sure they like me and all this. And it's like, you know what, man? I've learned, and here's the funny part. The way that I am with you, the back and forth we have, the jabs and all that, I'm that same person with my patients. And the reason why is because that's who I am.
Yeah.
And because of that, even though it's not what they expect from their doctor, it's what they see is me. And I'm actually busier because of that. Like, when I stopped wearing suits to work, I was wearing suits to work all the time because I was like, oh, I have to look a certain way. COVID hit and I started wearing just my scrubs and scrubs and a sweatshirt. Threw on some Jordans and like, that's that. My patients who were with me before that and who are with me and now are like, dude, you're so much more relaxed now. This doctor is the one that we like more than that doctor. Yeah, your tailored suits were great, but this is the guy.
Right.
All I did was change my outfit.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I put on a different cape.
Yeah.
you know, and it changes things.
Yeah. I had a dear friend that, went through, and I've mentioned him on the podcast before, went through 2 bouts of cancer. 2 bouts of cancer. So things became very real for him. And he does a lot of public speaking. And he transitioned from the public speaker to, look, this is what I do. This is how it goes. This is how you can benefit. This is how you'll grow. But he's talking on the same level.
Yep.
And people started really gravitating to him. I'm here to see this guy speak. I don't care about anybody. I want to see this guy speak.
Yeah.
He curses because that's his language.
Dude,
that's
I'm
how he
tell
talks.
There's something about being faced with your own mortality that makes you think, man, that shit doesn't really matter. I've been very public about my fight with cancer, and it changed the way that I see me. Didn't change the way I see everybody else. It changed the way that I see me, and in turn started showing that person to everybody else. And then I'm just like, it's now, and it's funny because people I work with in surgery and things in the operating room, they know the only way somebody can get under my skin is to mistreat a patient of mine. If patients aren't doing well, and not just mine, any patient that's getting mistreated, to me, that's the one thing that gets under my skin. That's the only thing that I will puff my chest up against. If somebody's mistreating you, you're a grown-ass man. Figure it out. You're letting them mistreat you. But if you're in a vulnerable position and somebody in a position of power is giving you misinformation or just you're not getting the care that you should, that shit there,
Yeah.
That's the one thing that will make me snatch somebody's soul.
Yeah.
You know? And so when I think about what matters, like truly what matters to me, I think when all is said and done, I want people to say, he was a good man. He was a good doctor. That's it.
Yeah.
You know, he gave a shit. He gave a damn. If people can say I gave, like you said, if people say I gave a damn, it doesn't matter, because think about this. Everything that we think is important, that we're holding on to, you know, are going to be forgotten. That shit's going to be forgotten. The thing that people remember when they cross your path, even if they meet you once, nobody remembers the t-shirt you were wearing that day when they met you. People remember how you made them feel when you met them, whether it's good or bad.
It's funny because I recently got a text message from someone I haven't talked to, haven't seen. I'll say it's been about 5-6 years. I met him at a conference.
Yeah.
He said, out of all the people I remember you. And I want to apologize because I haven't reached out to you. You've been on my mind. I just wanted to check in with you.
Yeah.
I said, wow, I appreciate that. So we've just been.
Because think about it. That's what matters. How you make people feel matters. You make people feel like shit, they're going to remember. Mm-hmm. You make people feel great, they're going to remember. You treat people like shit, they're going to remember. Mm-hmm. You know, and the rest, nobody gives a shit about any of that. Nobody gives a shit if you were valedictorian in high school. Nobody gives a shit if you were the star quarterback for your high school team.
Right.
Nobody gives a shit about how much money you have in your pocket. Why? Because it's in your pocket.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. But did you do something with that money in your pocket that made life better for somebody else? That's what they'll remember, even if it was $1. Mm-hmm. I could give somebody $1 or do something with $1. That will mean so much more than you buying somebody a meal that you're trying to impress for $100.
I gave money to this lady before I came here. I was getting a coffee, and she's like, I said, "Hey, sweetie, here." I just, she's like,
Yeah.
Oh, God bless you. Thank you so much. What is your name? I said, I'm Kenny. I usually come by here or whatever. I said, I got you. She's like, oh my God, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm going to remember your name. Kenny, right? Kenny. And I guarantee you she'll remember my name.
And the thing is too, she doesn't need to remember your name. Even if she didn't, she's going to remember you.
Yeah, exactly.
If she never sees you again, she's always going to remember that guy who did something nice for me. And in that moment, I felt joy in a time that was fucking stressful.
Yeah. She's on the street.
She took 2-second moment of pause to breathe.
Yeah.
And she may only breathe for those 5 seconds, but she was able to do that.
Yeah.
And she's going to remember that.
Yeah.
And I think, all these people like we talk about on social media who are influencers, what are you influencing? Are you influencing people to be better? Do people's lives change? Are they better off having met you or having watched you or saw something you're selling? Are you living a life that is worth emulating? Ask yourself that.
Yeah.
Are you living a life that somebody else would be proud to say, you know what? I want to be like him.
Right.
Or any aspect of him. I want to do this like Kenny. I want to do this like Leonel. I want to do this like anything. If you're not doing anything that somebody else would want to emulate, then you're living a life unfulfilled. It's true.
Wow.
And it's more than chasing your purpose. Yes, you're going to chase your purpose, But if you spend your entire life chasing your purpose, then maybe that's not your purpose.
Yeah.
Maybe you're chasing a purpose that somebody else put out in front of you.
Right.
Because chasing a purpose means you're hoping to fulfill it, and you will. You know, the journey is the purpose.
Right. There you go. Because I was going to say, if you're chasing a purpose, it more than likely is not yours, because
Exactly.
you should be living in your purpose. Yeah.
Because so many people,
Because it's yours.
you know, so many people put out there, I'm chasing my purpose.
Or
Why are you not living your purpose?
or always saying, what is my purpose? Not identifying their purpose, not understanding what their purpose, because they don't understand that their purpose is they are right here in this moment.
Yeah.
It is right here.
You know, and that's why I love the title of Jay Shetty's podcast, On Purpose. Because you think about that, you're kind of living life on purpose. That's what you should be doing, not living life chasing a purpose.
Yeah.
Because chase means you're never going to catch.
Right.
That means your purpose is running from you.
And you wouldn't know what it was if you ever caught it.
Exactly.
Because the needle will keep moving.
You know, look at how you're living your life. You know, what is it about your life that makes you sit back and say, you know what? This life is good. We always complain about the things that make life bad, that make life stressful. Can you sit back and just think to yourself for a brief moment, what makes my life good? What makes my life matter? And first and foremost, what makes my life matter to me? Mm-hmm. And if it really matters to you, then it'll matter to others.
Yeah.
You know, and so I think people don't take enough time to do that.
No.
People don't take enough time to sit with themselves and say,
No, because they spend way too much time, and this is just human nature, identifying what they do not have, where they are not, instead of being where they are.
yeah, and it's not about, life isn't about what you have and don't have. Mm-hmm. Because the haves and the have-nots, it's all relative.
Yeah.
There's so many different variables that go into have. You know, I know people who have a lot and are living a life unfulfilled, and I know people who have nothing who are living a very fulfilled life. Because I'm saying they have nothing because the material things aren't there.
Right.
But their family structure is good. Everything's, they may be working hard every day, but they come home to a loving house. And to them, that's everything.
Yeah. And you got me thinking about good times, because the original premise was they weren't rich, but they were a family unit. Think about their friends. They all worked.
Yep.
They weren't on the system. You know,
Yeah.
their kids were taken care of. They struggled.
Yeah.
They threw the struggle more in our face than anything else. But the family dynamic was a family nucleus.
Yeah.
It was whole. Until they had to kill off James.
Right?
Because he wanted more money.
And then somebody, you know, the thing I sent you was like, if I would have known, kind of, when I look back on my life, I would have lived a little more and worked a little less. Mm-hmm. Right? Yes, unless your job isn't work. Because what if you're living on purpose? Like, I look at people always like, you need a vacation, you need to go do this, you need to take time off, you're going to get burned out. You only get burned out if you don't enjoy what you do. Right. You only get burned out if you're not fulfilled by what you do. You know? And so if your profession is fulfilling, you never hear an artist saying, I get burned out.
No.
You know, it's their arts, their craft. It's what they enjoy. That's what brings them peace. That's what brings them happiness, because they know what that particular painting, I'm looking at the paintings here on my wall and like what feeling that invokes. That's what you're going to remember somebody by. Mm-hmm. You know, like, oh man, I remember, you know, the good he did for me, or the good she did for me. Oh my God, he was able to help me walk again. How could I ever look at that as work? You know, unless I'm only looking at them as a number, you know, right. Then I'm not living on purpose. You know, I'm not living in my purpose. Yeah.
It'll show. It'll show in your work. It will show in the outcome.
Oh, for sure.
Because it'll be right back. Well, and not for the sake of, thank you so much, Doc, but I'm still having a problem.
You know, and there's only so much you can control.
Right.
But it's that healing process is so much better when you know that you're putting your all into it. You're not a mechanic. Mm-hmm. You know. And so again, like I said, that's living in your purpose. You know, you could easily take somebody to the gym and say, lift this 5 times, lift that 3 times, do this, do that, run on the treadmill. Yeah, you'll lose a couple pounds. How many times do you do that and be like, I'm fucking done with this? Mm-hmm. You know? But the fact that you're more into the interaction, mm-hmm. and the physical is the byproduct of the interaction. Mm-hmm. You're always looking for new ways to create mm-hmm. something else, you know? And I think that's what people will remember. And that's why every interaction we should strive to make it memorable. Nobody should ever walk away not taking something from an interaction with you.
Yeah.
If I interact with somebody, even a hello, how you say hello to somebody could change their whole day.
Oh, absolutely. I'm all about engagement.
And if it's just a nod and you keep walking, that person probably took nothing from that interaction.
How many places do you walk into this day and people, like, perfect example, a coffee shop. Mm-hmm. And by the time they're ringing you up, they're handing you a coffee because they know you.
Yep.
They're like, what's up, Doc? How you doing? Yeah. Is this what you wanted, right?
Yeah.
You know, they'll this is what you wanted, right? You know I get the same thing every day. And they're like, oh, man, we appreciate you. Yeah, it's just a conversation. Then the next guy in line, they're like, what would you like? Even though he comes every day.
Yeah. Very different. Mm-hmm. You know, and it's all because people will always remember, like I said earlier, people will always remember how you made them feel.
All the time.
Whether it's a kick in the nuts or a pat on the back, whatever it is, they're going to always remember how you made them feel.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't strive to make people feel like shit. If you think, oh, I got to get back to this person because they hurt me, what is hurting them back going to do for you?
You got me thinking about how my wife always says, well, you know, today I went to the store and them Kennyisms be working. Lady was like in a bad mood, and I said, girl, how you doing? She's like, oh, well, this is, well, you know what? You're going to make it happen anyway. Next thing you know, girl, thank you so much, and handing her stuff and giving her free stuff or whatever. Yeah. She's like, oh, this shit works.
And the reason why is because she meant it.
Yeah.
It wasn't, let me try something to see let me see if I can get something out of this interaction. No. When you're doing something to get something, that's a problem. Yeah. If you're doing something with the intention on giving, you will always get something. Mm-hmm. And that's what you want people to recognize, man.
Even if it's just a smile.
Think about how you feel when you smile at somebody and the person you smiled at fires off the biggest smile back.
Right.
It makes you feel some kind of way, right? Yeah. You're like, all right, that's kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know, I say this all the time. If you are having a shitty day, call 3 to 5 people and make their day. it will pull you out of your shit so fast. You're like, oh man, I don't feel so bad anymore. It's kind of hard to be in that same space when you're giving something good, even though you've had something previous right before, something bad that happened to you.
So it's interesting. I've had in the last couple weeks, some friends of mine who've all been going through some shit, some cancer shit. And it's one of my friends I saw today, and I'm having a conversation with her in passing. I haven't seen you in a while. What's going on, girl? And she's like, well, I had this happen. She's like, and I'm just getting back. And instead of being like, oh shit, for real? My response to her was, well, damn, you on the other side now. Let's go.
Yeah.
And she was like this, like, oh, like her response was going to be completely dependent on how I responded to the news.
Right.
And I took it in stride, not belittling it, but I was like, well, shit, you on the other side now. Let's go. What they doing for you? Yeah. Boom, let's go. And she's telling me all the stuff. I'm like, oh, I know about that. Yeah, and this. And I'm like, cool. Fuck it. Let's go. You're a survivor. Let's ride. And this was exactly what I said to her. She was like, oh.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to let you sit in this shit. Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah. You already know what it is. So
and you've already handled it.
Right.
And now you know where you're going forward from here.
Yeah.
And then, she asked me a very interesting question. She was like, does it ever just linger in the back of your head? Like, God, what if this comes back? I was like, that noise every year gets quieter and quieter. Because the what if it comes back, in my mind, I can't control that. And so the only time I think about it is right before I get tested every 3 months. Mm-hmm. But I told her, I was like, it used to scream loud every 3 months. Now, sometimes I'm like, is it time yet? Whereas before, I was counting the days, And so I was like, that loud megaphone that's in your head right now, because it's fresh for you, is going to be a whisper eventually. You'll never forget it. You'll always hear it, but it's not going to bother you. It's just going to be, it'll be a reminder rather than a scare.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh, shit. Yeah. And so that interaction hopefully gave her some peace today.
Yeah. Oh, that was today. Oh, wow.
Yeah. Okay. That was right before I came home.
Okay.
And so it's one of those things where you never know what your interaction with somebody, how that's going to affect them. So why not try to have an effect on everybody you come across?
Where do you think that behavior or that mindset comes from for you? I know mine. Where do you think you got it from?
I don't know. It's always been there. Mm. Some people may say it started out as caring what other people think, meaning, oh, I always want to make somebody think positively of me. And then I realized it wasn't that. It was just, if you cross my path, I'm hoping and I'm kind of praying that it affects you positively. Mm-hmm. Even if it's a negative interaction, I hope it affects you positively to create change. Mm-hmm. Whatever that is. You may not like me, but the reason you don't like me hopefully will spark change in you.
Right.
Because I'm not going to change. Mm-hmm. I'm me.
Yeah.
I don't know you.
Yeah.
But something about me rubbed you wrong.
Yeah.
That's where jealousy and envy come from. Think about it as well. You don't know me, but you hate me. And I always say, you hate me because you ain't me. And so if everything about me you're envious of, then the positive side of that is going to be you striving for more so you don't have to hate me.
Yeah.
If you are a colleague who just is mad that I'm busy or mad that I have a busy practice, then wonder what I'm doing instead of disliking me. I'm not throwing anything in your face. You dislike me because you're not where I am. Then work harder.
Yeah.
Strive to treat patients better.
How about just have more curiosity?
Yeah. Learn more.
Read.
More.
Yeah.
You know, and so
ask.
Yeah.
What did you do differently? Man, you are killing it. I have love and admiration for the business that you built, but at the same time, there's a jealousy because you're amazing. What are you doing differently?
Yeah. You know, so this mindset, to answer your question, I think was always there. Mm-hmm. I think how I interpreted it changed after I got sick.
Yeah.
And it changed the way that I allow people to see me. And I think that's what's changed. But I think it was always in there.
Yeah.
I just wasn't willing to show it. And now, for lack of better terms, because of this podcast, because of everything else, I've kind of gotten naked in front of people, you know, and I'm letting them see it all.
You're Robbie Weird Dick.
You really went to that movie?
You're Robbie Weird Dick.
We cannot get through a podcast without a Kevin Hart reference. we really can't.
Oh my gosh, I just had this whole visual.
I wonder if everybody else is going to pick up on that. That was a good one. But yeah, but I think that's what it's allowed me to sit in that space of, dude, this is me.
Listen,
I need to cover it up.
Brenda Joyce, man. Brenda Joyce, my mother. Mm-hmm. Very early on, you go to the grocery store. How you doing, girl? How you doing? Everything okay? All right. Good talk. You know, she did that all the time. And I remember asking her very early on, like, why do you know them? And she was like, no. She's like, I said, why are you speaking to them like that? Like you know them.
Why not?
And she's like, one, why not? Two, you don't know what people are going through. Why couldn't you be that one little spark in their day? Just one little spark. Somebody actually gave a damn about them in that moment.
Yeah.
And I actually want them to be okay.
Yeah. It took me a minute to get out of that shell.
Yeah.
Of, like, I used to be tunnel vision, strolling, but doing my own thing.
Yeah. I've always been that way.
You know, I wasn't that dude who walks into a room and lights up the room. I was that dude who's going to walk in the room and I'm going to sit back and watch everybody else. Mm-hmm. You know, now it's been sort of, I'm the guy who is still fairly reserved, but I will actually make it a point to get to know you. I will, hey, what's up? What's your name? Why are you here? I know I'm here. You know these people? You know, I'm good for that. Who you know here? You know, that kind of thing. And whereas before, I'd be like this.
Yeah. I don't think I had a choice.
Skeptical, just looking at people like, what's your problem? Mean mugging fools.
For me, I don't know, man. I've always been that guy. I walk into a room and I don't have to say a whole lot.
Yeah.
I don't have to be loud, but I speak volume. So, and there's always been this gravitation.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And I wasn't
always been that way.
And I wasn't really shy.
Yeah.
It was just, I didn't have a lot to say.
Yeah.
Still don't have a whole lot to say. But I don't bite my tongue when it comes time to speak up. Mm. Whereas before I would just be like, you know, now I'm like, fuck it. Like we always say, uncancelable.
Yeah.
You can't cancel me if I don't care what you think. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's that simple. Do I care about my perception in the world? Sure. But do I care specifically what you as an individual thinks about me? Probably not. Because it's not going to make me change. I'm going to be me regardless.
I was thinking about Muhammad Ali. He said, I don't know everything, but I'm always right. That's me. Because I only speak on what I speak on. I don't know everything. Always right, though. Always.
Right.
Always.
Yeah, man. I think, what matters in life? Family matters, which to me includes friends. Your health matters.
Mm-hmm.
Your impact on the world around you matters, because no matter who you are, you still make a splash. Whether it's a little pebble or a big boulder, you still make a splash. The water still ripples. So you affect everything around you regardless. If you can understand that, then you'll understand that you matter. Once you understand that you matter, you'll treat people differently. And people will see that in you. And then other people will understand that you truly matter.
That look in the mirror, man.
Yep.
People have got to start taking that look in the mirror. How challenging, and I find this especially for women, strip down to nothing. Stand in front of that mirror and say, you matter. I love you. You're great. Just to themselves. They cannot eye themselves. They can't
look themselves in the eye.
And I don't care if you are Amber Rose to built like, the brick house to the biggest mama, whatever it is, they can do it. A lot of men can't do it.
Well, because people haven't learned how to love themselves.
No.
Yeah, number one, they haven't learned how to love themselves, and number two, they haven't figured out how to forgive themselves.
Forgive themselves for something that they have absolutely no control over, that's already gone, long gone.
They can't let go of their past, and they can't relive the past.
Yeah.
It's like your past doesn't matter, because it only matters if you let it affect the present or the future.
Yeah. And it's not like you have to dishonor the past or live in the past.
Can't change it.
You can't change it. Just give it its due respect, learn from it to move on.
Yes.
I respect that. I messed up there. I did this. This is where I learned. Let's go. Believe me, this guy knows what that's like.
We all have that thing or those things in our past that we're like, fuck,
Yeah.
But that being said, you have to be able to let it go, because in the grand scheme of things, your life tomorrow is not depending on what's already happened. Your life tomorrow is dependent on what you're going to do about it right now, today. And so if you don't know how to live in the present because you're too stuck on the past, then your life's not going to matter.
Oh,
Because you're not living a life.
oh, I was about to say, you're not living a life. Life has moved past you.
Oh, for sure. Because it's continuing moving forward all around you.
Yeah.
If you don't move with it, you're stuck.
But-
Or you keep thinking, my life isn't shit because I'm not on plan.
What plan was that?
Thank you. Thank you, right? It's like, what do you mean by, well, I plan to do this by a certain age. I plan to do this by a certain age. I plan to be married and have kids by this certain time. I should be making this kind of money. Who wrote that blueprint for you?
Yeah. And also, let's call a spade. Did you work that plan out to get, or you wrote the outcome that you wanted, but you didn't have a plan? This is what it should be. This is where I should be at this age. This is what I should have at this age. But you had no plan, no outline, not even a sketch.
You had a picture of the house without a blueprint to build it.
Yeah.
It's like, what does that even mean?
Yeah, it doesn't work that way.
But people all the time are like, they stress out because their life is not going according to plan. Whose plan? They said, you want to hear God laugh, tell him your plan. Right? It's
Everybody's stuff till they get punched in the mouth.
yeah, right. And
Tell
so
them, Tyson.
yeah, and so it's crazy that that's how we live our life,
Yeah.
but yet we still haven't figured out what matters. And why do we always have to wait until we're 85? Now, we've hear all of these older people who are, in the latter days of their life
Yeah.
telling everybody, this is what matters. I've lived my life, and this is the only thing that really should matter because everything else I did didn't. But yet we won't listen to them, and that's the problem. We won't listen to the people who came before us because we think we know better, and we're like, well, I'm going to be different than that.
That's why we have this thing, biohacking and everything else. It's called living.
We're trying to preserve as much as we can of it.
Yeah.
And it's so ridiculous that we can't wrap our head around the fact that things don't matter. People matter. Feelings matter. Things don't. I said this on a podcast before. What's new eventually becomes old. Mm-hmm. All the stuff, the fancy shoes and cars and watches and all that stuff. You buy a hot wardrobe today. Come fall, it's outdated.
Right.
And that's in 3 months.
Right.
It's like, so did it really matter? If somebody didn't like the shoes you were wearing, who gives a shit? Who gives a shit?
Stop missing out on life, man. The life that you're in, not somebody else's life.
And stop taking pictures everywhere you go, just so you can see if other people are going to like what you took a picture of. Instead of you just liking what you're taking a picture, instead of you just enjoying that moment.
Yeah. Or how people take pictures of places that they go, the food they're eating, but they're never in the picture. I don't care. Did you enjoy it?
Yeah.
How does it
show
look
me that
with
big
you
ass
and-
grin on your face?
Right. Oh my God, this is so good. You holding the burger. I don't want to see the burger.
Unless you
whatever.
just had some phenomenal experience and you want to tell the story and this is part of the story, cool. But you're going to take a picture of your In-N-Out burger and show it to me? I don't care. I'm an In-N-Out fan. I just go get one. Yeah. And so part of making your life matter is living in the moment. Hence the new tattoo.
Yeah.
Because so many of us, we stress about all the things. It's funny how the things that matter, we don't stress about. We stress about all the things that don't matter.
Right.
Which
Right.
is sort of ass backwards.
Right. I am learning to live by this even more now than ever before because I used to be this way, and I'm definitely. It's me. I'm just going to say it. I'm not the life of the party. I am the party. That's it. I'm not the life of the party. I am the party. I'm going to bring my party. You bring your party. You bring your party.
Yep.
It's kind of like when the best rappers all get on one track. I'm the best rapper alive. The next guy says the exact same thing. The next guy says, in some capacity, says the exact same thing. So, okay, let's go. Let's put all the best rappers alive in one track. That's it. That's all it is.
Yeah.
That's all we're going to bring.
But yes, like I said, people stress about things that don't matter, and they spend zero time thinking about the things that do.
Mm-hmm. Missing out.
Dude, it's just like I said, ass backwards. Focus all your energy on the things that matter, and then the shit that doesn't won't stress you. It's that simple, man. Life, man. What matters?
Man.
Great podcast, dude. Coach KJ, where they gonna find you, man?
At Coach KJ Knows on Instagram and CoachKJ.com.
You're gonna find me at Leonel Hunt on IG. You'll find me at huntspine.com. You'll find us both at SOE_podcast. and you will find us both at podcastsoe.com. Everything Coach and Doc. Check us out on YouTube, Spotify, everywhere.
Saturday
you like
mornings at 11 o'clock.
IG Live, and then on
Western,
Wednesdays,
Pacific, whatever you want to call it.
Pacific Standard Time. And then on Wednesdays, every Wednesday at 6 a.m., we got a new podcast that comes out. Continue to support us. We just got more coming at you.
Because we're supporting you.
Absolutely. We out.
We out.